Welcome, Let's Golden State Warriors. I hope you're enjoying it today. Today is a game day and we are playing against Sacramento again. But tonight, we actually play at the Chase Center. The first game this season at the Chase Center is going to be a great night. You're going to have some bubbleheads there for the first to arrive. And the question that we have is, can the Warriors keep raining threes like they did in the first game? Reminding, I said here before, the Warriors had 28 3 points on that game, and that's actually even higher than their record, the team record in the regular season that was 27. The NBA record for threes in a game is 29, so we're really close to that. And we're going to talk everything about the Warriors roster and how that relate with this 3-point shooting, the mindset that we have, and all the ins and outs for the game tonight. So the game is at 7 p.m., Chase Center Arena. If you're at home, it won't be on national television, so you're going to need the NBA TV to watch that. And it's going to be very interesting. A few things for us to see. Before we keep moving forward, please subscribe. Hit that button there. Like the video. Help the channel. A lot of you are coming here, and I know a lot of you come back. You leave the comments, but you're not subscribed yet. So I ask you, subscribe. Help the channel. We are heading to 8,000, and I hope we can get there before the opening night. So what we have to watch for the game tonight, right? Steve Kerr made a few adjustments from the first to the second game, where he rotated in the starting lineup. He removed DeAnthony Melton and changed for Brandon Porzingis, and he also changed Tracy Jackson for Looney. I particularly think the first game, the starting lineup went better. A lot of things to adjust, is true, but I like that more. I think DeAnthony Melton paired really well with Stephen Curry, so I would expect to see more of that tonight. At the end of the day, even that we are testing, Steve Kerr also want to practice a little bit of that starting lineup, right? What we already know, and I said here yesterday, Andrew Wiggins is ruled out. He's not playing. He's not going to play tonight. He's not playing on Sunday. So we might see him back for the last 2 games of preseason. And I talk more about that, by the way, in this video here. If you want, take a look. And I explain what I think that is happening with Andrew Wiggins. The Warriors had this really good second game where the offense part, the defense, it's improved from last season, in my opinion, and if you analyze how they're behaving and also the players that we brought. But the offense was really effective, right? I'm going to put here on the screen an interesting thing that is related with the depth of the roster, right? So take a look on this. The amount of 3 points that we did, when we used to have that in the past, we would see a concentration on Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, right? But you see how it's spread here? Even Stephen Curry, he wasn't even a top 3 in number of 3 points made on that game. We know he had limited time. Steve Kerr is doing the rotations. But that's going to be very important for the Warriors. You have a lot of shooters, a lot of above average shooters, not really Buddy Hield, we know he's one of the best in the leagues, but you have others that they are not those top ones, but they are really good. And that creates a confusion in the defense of the other team, right? Because you cannot leave any of those guys exposed. And when you double, for example, on a Stephen Curry, or when you double in a Jonathan Kuminga that is attacking the ring, you open all that space, and that's where the Warriors strive, right? That's a ball movement, off-ball movement as well, and opening those space. So, and then you leave like a Moses Moody, a Gary Payton, a Jonathan Kuminga open on those threes, they tend to make, right? They're not shooters that will shoot like off dribble or step backs like Stephen Curry does with the 2 guys over him, but you also have the possibility and high chance that they will score if they are open. And that's why you see all this spread there. And that's why I think that is something the Warriors will explore a lot. Remember, Steve Kerr said, I want us to be a high volume 3-point shooting team. And he's right on that. And he also emphasized, look, we don't go too much to the foul line, right? We don't get a lot of free throws. So we need to compensate that by being a high volume shooting threes. And I think he's right. It's the characteristic that we have at the Warriors right now. On and off, depending on the combination that you have in the floor, you might adjust a little bit, and having some guys like Jonathan Kuminga, Kyle Anderson, that they attack a little bit more and they go, but in general, that's not the main profile that we have in our roster, right? So very interesting to see as well. One thing that I expect to happen over the season, how the Kings adjust. How will teams adjust to this, right? To this rotation that we have, to many different guys getting in and getting like a balanced amount of minutes, versus you adjust to a Stephen Curry, to a DeAnthony Melton, this guy that is hot on the day, a Jonathan Kuminga, and then you focus on that. And then I think we have a lot of options for when one is not playing well, another one to balance that. So I expect these things to keep going on. So can the Warriors make it? It was that one shot. What do you think? Leave in the comments. Do you think that the Warriors can still keep, and it's going to be for the season, this really high percentage? They were above 53% from three-point shooting in the second game, a lot above on the first one where they were only 20%. And Steve Kerr said about it, first game you expect that the guys will be off, and he really showed that on the second game. What can you expect for this one? How will the Kings adjust? How will the Warriors adjust to the defensive side as well? Despite them improving from the last season against the Kings, and the first quarter was terrible. They were playing around. The Warriors were not providing any like toughness or any like tightening the defense, giving a lot of space. Looney suffered a lot on that first quarter, so I would expect Tracy Jackson to have more minutes as well. And that's going to be interesting. And then to wrap, I think one curious point in my mind is like, what is going to happen with the minutes? When we look to that second game, we saw Moody cracking more minutes in the second unit and Gary Payton having reduced amount of minutes. But when you look for a Lynn Waters, for example, that he went really well and had that buzzer beater on the first game, he still had more minutes, but he still didn't crack to that second unit, right? He was more on that third part of the game. Steve Kerr also limited a few guys that didn't play already. So I think since we're halfway with the preseason, we will start seeing more of that roster, like the real 12 guys or 11 guys that will rotate more often to take shape, and we're going to figure it out. And I think you have one battle that is still open there, is between the Brazilian guy, Gui Santos, and Reese Beekman on who is getting that last spot for in the roster, right? I think Quinton Post definitely getting and a few other guys, but it's going to be interesting. So one last news that I want to share here, and obviously I'm not gonna lie, I'm not into the women's NBA yet. I'm starting to pay more attention to that, and I have one big motivator, right? The Valkyries are coming. So they're taking form, they just hire a head coach. So I think that's a big deal. It's an opportunity that we're having in a lifetime, that is seeing this Bay Area team forming from scratch. So I hope we all connected to it as well as part of the Warriors organization. So we will bring the information here as well for you. So that's it. I hope you're excited for the game tonight. I will come after that with the full highlights so you can watch here, and the comments as well. Enjoy and have a great day. And if you want to know more about who is winner and who is a loser so far in this Warriors training camp and preseason, just watch this video here.